Every day, millions of people wake up to battle rare diseases. Among them are the changemakers, who refuse to take no for an answer. These are the people who go above and beyond, challenging the status quo, to help others in a world where it is often easier to walk away or turn a blind eye. They are patients or parents of sick children who become advocates and take on so much responsibility while fighting health issues of their own. They are researchers, pushing science to the edge of what we know to be possible. And they are doctors and educators who diagnose patients sooner and find much-needed answers, and who dedicate what little free time they have to training the next generation so that future patients will have expert care. They are public health leaders, fighting for legislation and regulations that protect and support us. And they are innovators who invest in treatments and cures, and who are committed to making new and better medicines and diagnostics available to patients in need. Alone, their efforts are inspiring, and when they come together, when we come together, our impact is even stronger. Since its inception, 34 years ago, NORD has been the convener in rare diseases, bringing all stakeholders together for the chance to create progress. Together, we support each other to take a stand against the unknown and embark on giant leaps forward. We are honored to introduce you to some truly remarkable individuals who are changing the world. Thank you for being here, and please join us in celebrating the 2017 Rare Impact Award honorees.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the National Organization for Rare Disorders 2017 Rare Impact Awards. My name is Scott Thuman. I'm pleased to be with you as one of your MCs for the evening. And what an amazing night we have in store for you as we celebrate the people and the organizations who are going beyond and above to make differences for rare diseases. Thank you so much for joining us.
And good evening. My name is Kimberly Suter. Scott and I work together at ABC7. I'm so pleased to be here by his side, my brother in arms, and by your side tonight. In our day jobs as reporters for ABC7 in Washington, Scott and I cover some of the most important events of our times. If Scott looks a little sweaty, he just dashed over from the White House. It's a little bit to cover over there. But we are, you know what I said to Scott? You know what's going to help you forget all that? This.
It's true. It's very true.
We're pleased to be here for what we consider a truly newsworthy occasion. As a consumer investigative reporter, it is my job to give everyday people a voice and to stand up for others who can't stand for themselves. And that is one thing everyone in this room has in common, and a reason that we are here together tonight. You all deserve a round of applause. Thank you for your efforts on behalf of the 30 million Americans with rare diseases.
It is true, and as this is my third year now of emceeing the NORD Awards, I'm so glad to be with you for what I would consider yet another inspiring night. Kimberly hit the nail on the head there. It's a great way to escape some of that day job stuff. You know, when you're part of this event, and you're part of the rare disease community, you see how we all have the ability to have a positive impact on others. And the road in rare disease is certainly not an easy one, and that's what makes the accomplishments and everything that we're going to be recognizing tonight even more deserving. Now, as the chief political correspondent for ABC7 News here in Washington and the Sinclair stations all around the country, I cover Capitol Hill and the White House. As Kimberly pointed out, it has been, if you have not noticed, a relatively busy time for us. In fact, later on tonight, you can Google and see what question I asked the president that created more headlines today. So it's been a challenge, but as you can all imagine, it's great because we have a front row seat to history, and we see how important political events and news really kind of shape the world. And it goes without saying that what happens in Washington, of course, has repercussions across the country. The reason I bring that up is because, likewise, what you all do, what NORD does, what happens on a daily basis with this entire group of people and everyone in those corners all around the country that you affect, whether it be in policy, in science, in research, in advocacy, you have this long reach. and it has a tremendous impact. So for 34 years, this amazing charity and organization has pushed rare diseases into the spotlight, made sure people notice them, and that's why we're here tonight, because NORD has brought all of you, all of us together, and we're here to recognize the differences that all of you are making. So again, thank you for joining us tonight. And to get things started, I'd like to hand it over to someone that I'm sure you all know very well. He is NORD's CEO, and at this point, I can consider him a good friend, right? Can we speak? He's a good man. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, put it together for Peter Saltonstall.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Kimberly, and good luck on the Hill. I hope you have better luck than I'm having right now, so, or that a number of other people that I know are having on the Hill. So I was asked to be brief tonight because we have a lot of awards that we're trying to give out, and we want to recognize a number of people, but I really want to spend a few minutes to say thank you to especially all of those of you in the room, all of you here in the room that have helped us put this on tonight, because I have to say, without your support, your commitment, none of this would happen. And so a sincere thank you to all of you. I also want a special thank you to our sponsors also. We have two benefactor sponsors. One is Sanofi Genzyme, and the other is Shire. And then we have three diamond sponsors, Biogen, BioMarin, and CSL. And I want to say, without them here, we probably would have been having peanut butter and jelly. So I want to thank all of them for their continued support. It's really important. This last year has been a really important year for rare diseases. As you may or may not know, there were 39 new therapies approved in 2016 for rare diseases. So I want to thank the companies that are in the room that help participate and make that happen. But I also want to reach out to the FDA and the NIH. I know a number of you are all here in the room tonight that have worked very hard on approving those drugs. And just say a sincere thank you to all of you, as we need to continue to keep this momentum and energy moving forward. Absolutely. I also want to thank the NORD Board of Directors and my boss sitting over here for their continued commitment and guidance. And I also want to thank our Scientific and Medical Advisory Committee. I'm not sure whether we were going to put a picture up of them or not, that have been helping us move the needle forward, if you will. Helping us educate people here in Washington on the Hill with regard to what it means to be a rare disease patient and what it means to bring therapies forward. So it's an important time for us right now, and the board we had a board meeting all day today, and they reinforced the mission of all the good things that NORD's doing. And I just want to say to the audience here that we are continuing to fight for everything there is for rare disease patients from a legislative perspective and a policy perspective, which right now we feel is somewhat under attack. And I just want to assure everybody in the room that we are standing strong. We are looking forward to working with everybody in a cooperative way. But at the same time, we want to recognize what's important for rare disease patients and try to move that forward and make sure that that's included in any piece of legislation that's brought forward, any piece. So we're working very hard on that. And lastly, I really want to thank the NORD staff, because again, without having our sponsors to help us, we'd have peanut butter and jelly. Without the staff, who's worked very diligently to put this on and to make it run as smoothly as it's running and has run so far, a sincere thank you. And I also want to call out our Chief Operating Officer, Pam Gavin, who is also here tonight and has been here for the last 5 years. And this event's always on her birthday, so she never gets to have her own birthday. So, Pam, happy birthday. And lastly, we lost two real heroes and leaders in our space over the last few months. The first is John Walsh. John Walsh was an Alpha-1 patient and built the Alpha-1 Foundation. And John recently died, unfortunately. And he was a good friend of NORD's and someone that I had worked with fairly closely, learned a lot from, was a very strong patient advocate. And I just want to say we'll miss him deeply. And then surprisingly, last Friday, Henry Tremere unfortunately died after working during the day and coming home that evening and meeting with his family, and ended up having what we don't know what it was. I presume it was some sort of stroke or heart attack. But he was a leader on the biotech area. He goes way back to the beginning. Abby Myers and Henry often had battles with one another. But she respected him immensely. We respected Henry immensely, and I will say those are two really key people in the space that we've lost just recently. So we're thinking about that because lives are valuable, and the contribution they made to this space is significant. So with that, I want to turn the podium over to my chairman of the board and boss, and we'll let him take it from here.
Good evening. My name is Marshall Summer. I have the pleasure of being NORD's current board chairman, and then also I run the Genetics, Metabolism, and the Rare Disease Institute up at Children's National just up the hill here, so I'm a cheap date. I also really want to also give a shout out to all of our sponsors. Thank you that you help us carry out our mission. You help us with so many different things. I also want to particularly congratulate our honorees tonight. It was actually a real thrill for me for some of them coming up who I've known for many years as colleagues, and also our industry partners who have done some just incredible work. I do think in the future we're going to look back on this as a crucial time, or actually a golden age in rare disease. Diseases, the impact is growing, the percentage of health care that is in the rare disease field continues to expand, and I think you are laying the foundation for, in many ways, the future of medicine. We're helping advocate for our patients. That's kind of our main mission. And NORD's board is really energized. Actually, one of the nice things about the board meeting today is there was a lot of excitement in the room. Actually, as the chairman, it was hard to keep it contained so we could actually finish on time. Those of you who are here from the board tonight, thank you. I'll give you back your bell later on. But we've also had some major achievements in our organization. We've grown in research. NORD is funding more research than ever. Our natural history program is taking off. We've launched longitudinal natural history studies. Our membership for patient advocacy groups is now at 260, an all-time high and continuing to grow. We've launched a continuing medical education program, so you corporate sponsors out there, when you're looking for your CMEs, NORD now helps do CMEs. Keep that in mind. Children's National, my home ship, launched a Rare Disease Institute this year, and NORD is designated as the first clinical center of excellence. And now I get to do something, since I have the podium right now, which I'd like to recognize some of our staff and professionals from the Rare Disease Institute. If you would just stand briefly. This is the first of its kind institute in the world. I'm going to pay for that tomorrow, aren't I, guys? All right. NORD has been all over the place. Actually, in the States, we've traveled over 2,500 miles this year to grow our advocacy platform. We have the Rare Action Network, which we're helping individuals become better educated and better advocates for themselves. NORD leverages so many of our patient advocates, tries to help them learn how to advocate, how to make a difference, how to push things forward. We're currently on the ground in 49 states. Wyoming, look out, you're next. And in Washington, D.C. at some hopeful time, but we're all here anyway, so hopefully we've got that covered. We're going to create more and more useful tools. We're trying to be very creative about how we use our resources, leveraging them to build a better world for rare disease. So I thank you for all coming tonight. I will now get out of the way so the program can continue, and thank you for your support.
For the record, on that cheap date thing, Scott is not. I mean, that's what I hear.
Don't I just love her? And Wyoming, watch out. I think that's the best line of the night so far. Yeah, you tell them. Now, with these introductions underway, Kimberly, I am pleased to present tonight's first honoree, Senator Johnny Isakson of Georgia, member of the Senate Health and Finance Committees. And Senator Isakson has done a great service for the 30 million men, women, and children who are living with rare disease in the United States. He championed the Advancing Hope Act of 2016, which successfully extended the Pediatric Priority Review Voucher Program to help children with rare diseases, and he is also the lead sponsor of the Advancing Research for Neurological Diseases Act of 2016. So please join me in hearing from Senator Isakson.
I'm delighted to be with you today. I'd appreciate very much the recognition for our work in the Cures bill last year in the United States Senate. I've been pleased in my career in the Senate to work on many things that work towards cures for rare diseases and diseases that previously have been incurable. I've been inspired by children I've met in my state, like Alexis Rohrbacher with neuroblastoma. We lost Alexis 2 years ago in an unfortunate tragedy, but it's her inspiration to me that had me work on pediatric review vouchers and the extension that took place in the 21st Century Cures bill, which now ensures there'll be more incentive to develop breakthrough cures for pediatric diseases for our children. Nothing is more important than science and breakthroughs and incentives to see to it that you're looking to the cures of the 21st century, not stuck in the cures of the 20th century. So I'm so honored to have been chosen for this recognition. Appreciate the work that you do on behalf of children and rare disorders. And if I can ever be of help to you, just call me. Because working together, there's no limit to what we can do for children and for the cure of rare disorders. God bless you, and thank you for what you do.
Please join me in welcoming Legislative Aide William Dent from Senator Isakson's office to accept the award.
I love that jazz music interlude, because otherwise there's that awkward space where they take the photo. That's cool.
They actually follow Kimberly everywhere she goes.
That's
the
right.
thing. It's
That's
her
right. I
personal
have my
band,
own
which is
interlude.
a little much, but
That's nice. Our next honoree, Congresswoman Diana Degette, has dedicated her entire career to healthcare issues, particularly those impacting women and children and the rare disease community. In 2016, she acted as one of the lead champions of the 21st Century Cures Act, which we've heard about tonight, a sweeping and innovative piece of legislation that was signed into law in December. This bill gives hope to patients desperately awaiting for cures, and Congresswoman Degette was largely responsible for getting it across the finish line. In her words, America can be, it must be, the healthcare innovation capital of the world. Please join me in hearing from Representative Degette.
Hello, I'm Congresswoman Diana Degette. I'd like to thank the National Organization for Rare Disorders for honoring me with the Rare Impact Award, and I regret that I can't be there in person to receive it. Many people don't know there are nearly 7,000 rare diseases without a treatment, affecting millions of patients and their loved ones. Without a clear path to recovery, fighting fear and uncertainty becomes an even greater battle for them. We need many more champions like you who are committed to research, advocacy, and understanding. I really appreciated having NORD's support as we work to pass the bipartisan 21st Century Cures Act, which will improve life for victims of rare diseases here in America and around the world. I co-authored and fought for passage of this legislation on behalf of all who have been waiting far too long for cures and better treatment. For years, America's healthcare innovation infrastructure was just not keeping pace with the rapid changes in biomedical research. Signed into law 4 months ago, 21st Century Cures will help ensure that the path from discovery to treatment is shortened and provides access to many more people in need. This updated framework for biomedical research is now giving renewed hope to patients and their families. We're entering a new era in the fight against rare diseases, and I'm excited to work closely with NORD to achieve what was once unachievable. Thank you.
Congresswoman Degette could not be here tonight, so we accept the award on her behalf.
Dr. Fred Kaplan's life changed the day His life changed the day that he met a 2-year-old girl with a rare disease known as fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva. See, here's the thing. I know I'm going to butcher some of these, and I'm going to apologize well in advance, because despite how much practice we did backstage, I can't even pretend to accomplish that, but don't let it take away from the amazing stories I'm about to tell you. In the 3 decades since, he has put this patient community on his shoulders and dedicated himself to research and traveling the world to care for patients. After 15 years of dedicated research, Dr. Kaplan was part of the team that discovered the gene that causes this devastating condition. Today, he believes that we are that much closer to finding a treatment. His pioneering work is also thought to have applications for more common bone diseases, as well as athletic medicine and treating spinal injuries and war wounds and more. Dr. Kaplan says that he wants his career in medicine to be about fixing the things that we do not know how to fix, and he encourages others to study rare diseases. He is an example of how one person, inspired by a single case, can change the course of medicine. So as you would imagine, NORD is quite pleased to honor Dr. Frederick Kaplan with a Rare Impact Award. Please welcome him to the stage.
Thank you, NORD, for this truly magnificent honor. And thank you to our FOP families, those who are here tonight, and those who are watching at home and around the world who share in this tribute, including my professional partner in this work, Dr. Eileen Shore. Thank you to my loving wife, Tina, Clementia, Pharmaceuticals, the IFOPA, my friends and colleagues in academia and industry, and most especially my patients and their families. This award is about impact. You have spoken kindly about the impact I have had on your lives, but personal impact is a mutual process, the action of one soul on another. Without mutuality, there is no impact. I pay tribute tonight to the tremendous impact that the FOP community and that still quiet and powerful patient voice has had on me. One extraordinary person in particular is Jeannie Pieper, an FOP patient and dear friend who used a magic loom to first imagine and then create the IFOPA to end the isolation of an ultra-rare disease, to stimulate monumental scientific progress, and to weave together a scattered global community into a single indelible tapestry from the golden thread of committed patients and families. Jeannie did this not from a tired formula of what other nonprofits do, but from a unique vision of empathy, compassion, commitment, and need based on patients and their families. Diseases like FOP don't just affect individuals, they affect entire families. And Jeannie mobilized that faction in her vision and her work. The tremendous accomplishments of this global community are due in no small part to that shared vision and voice, the patient voice. Patients are the reason, the strength, and the inspiration that allows us to care, to do research, and to work tirelessly for a better future. Jeannie is that voice. The resilience of the global community that Jeannie created, with the towering guidance of Michael Zasloff and fostered by the incredible generosity of Diane Weiss, the Callies, and the Weldons, and by the tireless work of FOP families around the globe, has stretched to the ends of our human universe and to the limits of our medical and scientific imagination, and has kindled hope with dedicated purpose and relentless determination. The impact that Jeannie and the global FOP family, that all of you have had on me and my life, is unfathomable. You are a chorus of angels who have invited me into your homes, into your hearts, and into your lives. You have taught me what every doctor should know and relearn every day, that diseases are not just physical processes, but human experiences. You have endowed my life with purpose and meaning. That's the kind of impact we all want to have. Thank you, NORD, and our entire FOP family for allowing me to make an impact on your lives, and most importantly, thank you for making an indelible impact on mine.
I keep thinking over and over in my head, yes, we're here for the Rare Impact Awards, but no doubt in listening to this, rare and profound impact on all of us. Our next honoree, Dr. Robert Desnick, has cared for and counseled patients with genetic diseases for more than 40 years. His research efforts have focused on the development of therapies for Fabry disease, Niemann-Pick B disease, and the acute porphyrias. He has made an impact by paving the way to prevent certain recessive neurodegenerative genetic conditions through prenatal and premarital screening. Because of Dr. Desnick's work, Mount Sinai now offers next-generation sequencing for nearly 300 debilitating neurological diseases of children. 300. With a focus on both treatment and prevention, he also works to train the next generation of medical geneticists and researchers so that future patients will have expert care. NORD is pleased to honor Dr. Robert Desnick with a Rare Impact Award. Please join us in welcoming him to the stage.
Well, welcome everyone. I want to thank NORD for this important honor, and I want to congratulate all my fellow awardees. In particular, I want to thank the advocacy groups, the pharmaceutical companies, and my wife for supporting my nomination. As a physician, I've always been a patient's advocate. I appreciate the patient's voice and have started 2 advocacy groups, the Genetic Disease Foundation in New York and the Fabry Support and Information Group. Moreover, I really appreciate the important work, the critical work that advocacy groups do to support their patients. For the past several decades, my research efforts have focused on the prevention and treatment of genetic diseases, rare genetic diseases. Together with outstanding pre-doctoral and postdoctoral fellows, faculty colleagues, and my pharmaceutical company partners, we've developed several therapies that are FDA and or EMA approved, and several treatments currently in preclinical studies or clinical trials. Today, the opportunities to treat and cure and prevent rare diseases have never been better. We need to rally for research, increase the NIH budget, and most importantly, encourage young researchers to ride the wave of innovation. Thank you.
Many of the new therapies that became available in 2016 are truly life-changing for rare disease patients, and we are pleased to recognize the innovators who are behind them. Our next honoree is responsible for developing a tool that helps to detect certain cancers. Neuroendocrine tumors are a rare group of tumors that originate in the hormone-producing cells of the body. Now, they can remain clinically silent for years, delaying diagnosis in a large number of patients. In June, the FDA approved NetSpot, the first kit for preparing a certain radiodiagnostic agent that helps to locate the neuroendocrine tumors in the body. Now, this product can be used to help both adults and children, and doctors are now able to determine the location and the extent of these tumors earlier, better informing patients how they should receive their care. So NORD is quite pleased to honor advanced accelerator applications with an Industry Innovation Award. Please join me in welcoming Stefano Buono, President and Chief Executive Officer, to the stage.
Thank you. I would like to thank NORD for the award on NESPOT. NESPOT, as it was explained very well, I couldn't have done better. It's a drug that is used for the diagnosis of neuroendocrine tumors using positron emission tomography. The FDA has approved this drug in a record time, only 23 months. And this not only because I think the agency cares about rare disorder, this is our experience, but also because this drug had an impact on patients. We have shown that we could change the management of the disease in 71% of the cases. So sometimes this is very important. For example, if a patient don't go to surgery, that has a huge impact on the patient. So, and this is very important. I think that every stakeholder contributed to the success of this drug because we had the coverage that was very rapid as well and reimbursement. And I'm very proud to say that after only a few months from approval, we are already helping more than 800 patients per month, which is a huge number for an orphan disease, like you all know in this audience. So I would like to thank also, of course, my collaborators, the people on my company, my wife, who was the chief medical officer of the company, who's here with me tonight. And so thank you for this award.
In December, the FDA approved Spinraza, the first treatment for spinal muscular atrophy. There has been a need for a treatment for this fatal genetic disease that robs children and adults of muscle strength and movement. NORD is pleased to honor Biogen with an Industry Innovation Award. Please join me in welcoming Greg and Shannon Zerzan to present this award.
Good evening. On behalf of my wife Shannon and I, thank you to NORD for hosting this wonderful event. When our son Charlie was diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy, we received the talk. We were told that SMA is the leading genetic killer of infants in America, that there were no treatments and no cures, and then most parents in our situation would be told that the best they could do is to take their child home and enjoy the time they have left.
Thanks to Biogen, that conversation has changed. As of December 2016, parents of children diagnosed with SMA are told about Spinraza, the first ever FDA-approved drug developed specifically to treat SMA. Spinraza offers the hope of fewer symptoms, milder symptoms, and longer, healthier lives for people living with SMA, like our son, Charlie.
Please join us in welcoming from the innovative company Biogen, Mr. Adam Townsend.
Thank you so much. It's actually such an honor to receive this award. The Zerzan family, they do so much for SMA. Greg actually sits on the board of Cure SMA, a great patient advocacy group. And the Zerzan family and so many other families work tirelessly for all SMA patients around the world. So Biogen, on behalf of Biogen, thank you for what you do. Also, thank you very much to NORD. It is an honor to receive this award, and this award isn't just for Biogen and the amazing drug that we have in Spinraza, the first approved treatment for SMA. This is for every doctor, patient, family, patient advocacy group, and all those involved in helping all others with SMA. Biogen is not going to stop just with Spinraza. We're going to keep going. And thank you so much for all of your support. And thank you again to the Zerzan family. So thank you.
Last March, the FDA approved Idelvion to treat children and adults with hemophilia B. Now, hemophilia B is a rare inherited bleeding disorder that prevents blood from clotting normally, and it can lead to potentially serious episodes of bleeding as well as joint damage. Now, NORD is pleased to honor CSL Behring with an Industry Innovation Award, so please join me in welcoming Megan Carty and her son to present the award.
Good evening. My name is Megan Carty, and this is my son, Logan. We are honored to be here to present the Innovation Award to CSL Behring for the licensure of Idelvion. Logan has severe hemophilia B. He was diagnosed at 2 days old with no family history of bleeding disorders. In addition to that, he also developed inhibitors, which only occurs in about 2% of the hemophilia B population and makes treatment very, very difficult. His life's been filled with countless injuries, ER visits, hospitalizations, and surgeries. And due to his inhibitors, we've been forced to give him daily infusions, which involve finding a good vein and painful needle sticks every single day before school. We have been hoping and praying for the release of the newer, longer-acting medications, and this past September, we started Logan with Idelvion. And to say our lives changed would be an understatement. We have gone from 30 infusions per month to just 10.
I am so grateful to the doctors and scientists that continue to work hard and to find better medications for these rare diseases like hemophilia.
Please join us in welcoming Dr. Debbie Benson Kennedy.
Thank you to NORD for this meaningful recognition. I'm proud to accept the Industry Innovator Award on behalf of CSL Behring's more than 14,000 employees worldwide. For more than a century, we've been driven by our promise to save lives and protect the health of people with serious chronic medical conditions. Today, that promise and our passion to serve patients like Logan has never been stronger. With the introduction of Idelvion, we're excited to build on a platform that's transforming replacement therapy for patients with bleeding disorders. We're especially thankful for the trust that physicians and patients place in us every day. More than 6 years ago, when the first clinical data was available, it was that trust and the commitment of patients and physicians that made it possible to fully develop Idelvion for all hemophilia B patients and for us to be here today. CSL Behring is committed to developing innovative medicines that will continue to reset the expectations of people with rare diseases. As we look to the future, we're confident that we will continue to make meaningful advancements in science and medicine that improve the health of generations to come. Thank you very much.
In May, the FDA approved Ocalvia to treat a rare chronic liver disease known as primary biliary cholangitis. PBC causes the small bile ducts in the liver to become inflamed, damaged, and ultimately destroyed. Over time, the liver loses its ability to function. NORD is pleased to present Intercept Pharmaceuticals with an Industry Innovation Award. Please join me in welcoming Tina Dooley to present that award.
Good evening, and thank you. About 14 years ago, I was diagnosed with primary biliary cholangitis as a result of elevated liver enzymes on a life insurance medical exam several years earlier. PBC is a chronic autoimmune liver disease resulting from the progressive destruction of the bile ducts in the liver. While there is no cure for the disease, there are medications that can help slow the disease's progression. For the past 13 years, I took the medication and was considered to be a partial responder. In May of 2016, Ocalvia was approved for the treatment of PBC, and this was a major event for the PBC community and people like me, because there had not been another treatment in over 20 years. At the time of my diagnosis, I was a wife, mother, and business owner. The disease progression required me to sell my wealth management business and retire early. I have chosen not to let PBC define me, but instead have chosen to devote my time to PBC awareness and rare disease advocacy. Please join me in welcoming Dr. David Shapiro, Chief Medical Officer of Internet Pharmaceuticals.
Tina, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my colleagues, I have very much like to thank you for the honor we have received and recognize that hard work for all of the patients, physicians, the research community, and my colleagues have done in bringing this new therapy to patients. I would like to point out our work is not done. We're currently conducting the largest trial in PBC ever in over 25 countries in over 125 centers. This is what it takes to do rare disease research. Our work is not done. We're working also to treat patients with primary sclerosing cholangitis and children with biliary atresia, two diseases for which there are no cures whatsoever, apart from liver transplantation. So I would say to the whole community and to the regulators, girls, boys, ladies, gentlemen, on behalf of my hard-working colleagues, I applaud the whole community. Thank you.
Defitelio was approved last March as an important first-of-its-kind treatment for the transplant community. Adults or children may develop a rare and life-threatening condition known as hepatic veno-occlusive disease after receiving a stem cell transplant for blood or bone marrow cancers. The complications from this condition may damage the liver or lead to liver and kidney failure. NORD is pleased to present Jazz Pharmaceuticals with an Industry Innovation Award. So please join me in welcoming Eve Pauling to present this award.
Good evening. My name is Eve Pauling. I stand before you tonight to present Karen Smith of Jazz Pharmaceutical with the NORD Rare Impact Award for the development of Defitelio. In 2013, I received a stem cell transplant for the treatment of acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Shortly after the transplant, I developed a rare, life-threatening complication known as hepatic veno-occlusive disease. My liver shut down and my prognosis was grim. Thankfully, my care team enrolled me in a clinical trial and I was put on Defitelio pretty quickly. Within days, my symptoms subsided and I was able to fully recover. I want to thank all of you here tonight. Thank you. I want to thank all of you here tonight who help patients like me. I want to especially thank the folks over at Jazz. Not only are they brilliant and innovative, but they are some of the nicest, kindest, most thoughtful people I've ever met. It is my honor to be presenting this award tonight. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Dr. Karen Smith, Chief Medical Officer, Executive Vice President, and Global Head of Research and Development. Karen?
Thank you, Eve. Eve, you are such an incredible inspiration to all of us. You truly are. And helping people like you is what we strive for as advocates, as scientists, as researchers, and as drug developers. You truly embody the promise, the potential of everybody in this room, because every rare disease diagnosis begins with a profound journey. And it's that journey that affects not just the patient, but the carers, the loved ones that support them throughout this harrowing journey. And so, Nick, thank you for being a part of supporting Eve through her journey. This award is a tremendous honor for Jazz Pharmaceuticals. On behalf of more than 1,000 employees, I would like to thank everybody at NORD, for whom we are so proud to partner. I would also like to add my congratulations to all of the other award recipients tonight, because they too have an unwavering dedication and commitment to the people living with rare disorders and their family members. These success stories like Eve are possible because of organisations like NORD and because of its network of patient organisations. And they ensure that patients not only have a seat at the table, but a voice to truly affect change. Jazz Pharmaceuticals was founded on just one principle, and that was to improve patient lives. And in our 14 years of operation, we have never wavered from that mission. This award will serve to inspire and challenge us. It will serve to continue as we invest significantly in research and development to help patients and meet areas of unmet need. And so I would like to thank you once again for inviting us here to be with you tonight and for this incredible and prestigious award. Thank you.
In September, the FDA approved Exon 51 as the first treatment for patients with a particular type of Duchenne muscular dystrophy. DMD is a rare genetic disorder characterized by progressive muscle deterioration and weakness. People with this condition lose their ability to perform activities independently, and as the disease progresses, life-threatening heart and respiratory conditions can occur. NORD is pleased to present Sarepta Therapeutics with an Industry Innovation Award. Please join us in welcoming Terry and Billy Ellsworth to present the award.
Thank you so much. I wasn't planning on crying, but here I go, probably. Thank you, NORD. Thank you, NORD, and congratulations, Dr. K and Sarepta, for your commitment, your ongoing commitment and belief in this drug and to our Duchenne community. I know without a doubt that our lives would be drastically different without Exondys. 1 year later since approval, Billy is still walking well at 16 and a half and still very self-sufficient. Billy is a scientifically positive example of the efficacy of Exondys and gives positive hope to Duchenne patients around the globe. I will do all I can as an advocate to help continue patients gain access to Exondys, a life-changing treatment. And now Billy would like to say a few words.
Hello, everybody. Congratulations, Dr. Oh, hold on, sorry. I'm trying to hold it the right way. Congratulations, Dr. K and Sarepta. I am walking today at 16 and a half years old because of eteplirsen. I am thankful for all that you did. I'll always remember meeting you in the ding-dong ditch moment. Thank you, and a warm welcome to Dr. K.
Good
evening, everyone, and thank you, NORD. All I can say is Bill is a tough act to follow. It's always hard when you have younger, better-looking men, that introduce you. I think certainly, and we're very pleased on behalf of Sarepta and our entire community in Cambridge, Massachusetts, to accept this award. I think we learned a great deal from this experiment, and I think what we learned is that it really does take a group of people to work very hard together. And that is not only a company, but it's all of the researchers, the academicians who are devoted to the patients. And really the linchpin for all of this has been the patients. George Washington, a few hundred years ago, said that passion and persistence does wonders in any age. And that is so true today with the rare disease community. It really is the passion of the patients that really causes the innovation. It causes the physicians and the scientists to want to do more research. It causes the company to invest and to spend money to make sure that this happens. But it really is all about the patients. And I think as we think about this whole process with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, this is just the start. There are many, many things that we need to do. And we continue to require the passion of the patients to be able to push it forward. And that also means lobbying Congress to make sure we have money for innovation for the NIH. Make sure we invest in this and make sure that we have reimbursement for patients. All of this has to happen, but none of it could happen if it wasn't for the passion of the patients. Thanks very much.
Congratulations again to all of the industry heroes. Now, hearing from everyone just now, it's clear that what you're doing is such important work and that your efforts are legitimately making such a difference to people and communities all across the country. And I am pleased now to introduce to you another person who is making an impact in so many ways. A nationally touring music artist, she is an accomplished performer and songwriter, and the winner of NPR Music's 2016 Tiny Desk Contest, a title that she earned nonetheless by beating out more than 6,000 other entries. She is also a rare disease patient who loves to do speaking engagements about disability, overcoming challenges, and of course, the joy of music. So please join me in welcoming the inspiring Galen Lee to perform 2 original songs.
Sorry. Thank you for all the work that you do to provide treatment, services, equipment, and hope to people with rare diseases. May we strive for a world in which everyone has access to the services and care they need to live well. May we also celebrate the unique perspectives and contributions of people with disabilities and rare diseases. Together, we can create a world where all lives are equally valued. pushing up through the dirt just like a seed, but you're never quite a flower. You feel more just like a weed, driving through. You wanna know where you are going, but the windshield's always dirty, and you never get to see what makes you think that you'll ever get there. What makes you think you deserve to know? Who are you really? Are you so important? Take a look around and watch the world unfold. Watch the world unfold. Watch the world unfold. Watch the world unfold. Need advice, you have no clue what you're doing. Moral compass, it is spinning, an identity unhinged. Where to turn, there's so many opinions, and they're all a little different, and the outlook's getting dim. What makes you think that you'll ever get there? What makes you think you deserve to know? Who are you really? Are you so important? Take a look around and watch the world unfold. Watch the world unfold. Watch the world unfold. Watch the world unfold. Pushing up through the dirt just like a seed, but you're never quite a flower. You feel more just like a weed. Thank you. Thank you. So the next song I'm going to do for you is actually a sing-along. So sorry about that. I didn't warn you. It's very easy. There's just one line, and it goes like this. It goes, bird, why do you sing? Fate has clipped your wings. So the words are, bird, why do you sing? Fate has clipped your wings. And I'm going to set up the song, and we'll sing it twice together, and then you're just going to keep going until the end of the song. And the only rule is you can't stop, because then the end's really awkward, so you got to keep going. So, do you want to practice it once, just to make yourself comfortable? Should we try it once? Okay, so let's try it. Bird, why do you sing? Fate has clipped your wings. I think you could sing a little bit louder, probably. Do you want to try it one more time? Let's try it one more time. Bird, why do you sing? Fate has clipped your wings. That sounds perfect. I'm going to get it set up, and we will start the song. This is called Bird Song. like a bird in the sky. Fly round and round and I can't fall down. You make me feel so free, like I just came awake, not afraid to be. You make me feel like a bird in the sky. Fly round and round and I can't fall down. You make me feel so free, like I just came awake, not afraid to be. Came awake, not afraid to be. You make me feel like a bird in the sky. Fly round and round and I can't fall down. You make me feel so free, like I just came awake, not afraid to be. Bird, why do you sing? Fate has whipped your wings. Bird, why do you sing? Fate has clipped your wings. Thank you. Thank you for singing with me, and thank you for all of your work. Thank you.
You all have beautiful voices. Wow. And you know, when she said, watch the world unfold, I think of how many of us are doing, you know, this. And then there's this world unfolding. It's a good reminder. Yeah. In less than 3 years, our next honoree has single-handedly put a little-known rare disease on the map and has also raised awareness for all rare diseases. After her son was diagnosed with arterial tortuosity syndrome, Andrea Taylor established a nonprofit organization called A Twist of Fate, ATS, to grab the attention of medical professionals all over the world and support other patients and families. The organization convened the first international patient meeting, launched a patient registry to drive research, and established the first Center of Excellence for ATS, with the second Center of Excellence slated to open this summer. These are just a few of its many accomplishments. And it is because of Andrea's dedication and a twist of fate, ATS's work, that more and more people are becoming aware of rare diseases. NORD is honored to have a Twist of Fate ATS as a member organization and is pleased to present the organization with a Rare Impact Award tonight. Please join us in welcoming Andrea Taylor and board members Dana Hageman and Ginger Timms to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for the NORD for this opportunity and for everything that you do for rare diseases. You put the puzzle pieces together and you help the patients and the patient organizations and everyone connect. And I just want to say thank you first and foremost. There's so many people that I would like to thank for this, and it's going to be hard to do so without crying. In 2010, my life changed. when my youngest little boy was diagnosed with arterial tortuosity syndrome. At that point, I was just Aiden's mom, and Aaron, of course, he's my other little boy. I can't forget him. But that changed everything, because when the doctors thought that it was ATS, what they told me is that they didn't know what to do. They'd never seen anything like this before. And from that point on, I vowed that I was going to change the lives, excuse me, of those with ATS and their families. No other parent should ever have to hear those words. So I want to thank our families for putting up with my constant emails and my text messages and my calls, and for participating in research and coming to our events and helping us figure out what ATS is all about and helping us get into clinical trials. I'd like to thank our doctors, especially Dr. Bert Callowert, who is my partner, and he is one of the most fantastic physicians I've ever met in my life. He is the one that is responsible for finding the gene mutation, the SLC2810 gene for ATS. I'd like to thank Dr. Collins and Dr. Yuri Zarati at Arkansas Children's Hospital for starting the first multidisciplinary clinic in the world for ATS, and the other doctors that work with us relentlessly. Dr. Fontenot, if he had not done exactly what he did that day in the cath lab with Aiden, I may not have my son. And after our open heart surgery with pulmonary reconstructive surgery and 5 heart catheterizations and 3 stents placed, I still have my 9-year-old little boy. Also, I'd also like to thank Dr. White, Dr. Kaler, Dr. Urban, Dr. Harden, and Dr. Warner, Dr. Smits, Dr. Richter, and Dr. Schaefer for believing in this mom and believing that we could bring patients together and change the world for those with ATS. I'd also like to thank my other rare disease leaders for helping me grow and learn from everything, from your mistakes and from your awareness and everything that you've done. I want to thank each and every one of you for this opportunity, and thank you again, NORD, for letting us be here tonight. Thank you.
Mother, wife, nurse, patient, advocate, and leader. There are a few words to describe our next honoree, Beth Wynne. In 2007, before she began to experience health problems, Beth had a job that she loved as a highly respected emergency room nurse, and she was married to her high school sweetheart, raising their 2 young children. Then followed a 5-year battle with her health, during which she could no longer work, and doctors dismissed or incorrectly diagnosed her symptoms. In 2012, she was finally diagnosed with syringomyelia. It's a disease in which cysts form on the spinal cord and then painfully destroy it from the inside out. By then, she had developed permanent damage and knew that she needed to do something and help others. Beth has since established a nonprofit organization called Worldwide Syringomyelia and the Malformation Task Force. She has started a patient registry to drive research, organized support groups, and developed the first advocacy models of care for these conditions. In addition, Beth became one of the first state ambassadors for NORD's Rare Action Network, where she helps to organize efforts in the state of Georgia and serves as a mentor for other advocates. In this role, she has helped to establish a rare disease advisory council within the state government and has organized successful Rare Disease Day events. Now, Beth takes on all of this because she is passionate about using her own experience as both a patient and as a medical professional to prevent others from suffering. As you can imagine, NORD is honored to present Beth Wynne with a Rare Impact Award. So please join me in welcoming her to the stage.
thrilled to accept this award given by NORD. This is in honor of men, women, and children with rare diseases worldwide. I'm thankful to my family, the support of my husband, the support of these wonderful support groups, NORD, and my faith in God has really brought me this far. The truth is, men, women, and children with rare diseases pass away every single day. With regard to my own rare disease, syringomyelia and Chiari, men, women, and children pass away from complications of the disease. You don't hear that they die from the diseases, they pass away from the complications. Please join me and observe a moment of silence to honor them. Thank you. Their journeys are not in vain. We learn from their journey, and that's how we move forward to make a better way for others we will never forget. Men, women, and children with rare diseases deserve excellent multidisciplinary bedside care. I am a registered nurse with a rare disease. It led to many complications, including intracranial hypertension, autonomic dysfunction, hypoxia, heart failure, and pulmonary hypertension. I'm considered rare, but I'm not alone. It is an honor to serve the rare community. I won't ever give up, and I'll keep fighting, and I'll keep advocating for men, women, and children everywhere. One of my favorite quotes, and the way I'll close, is by Florence Nightingale. Rather 10 times die in the surf, heralding the way to a new world, than stand idly on the shore. Thank you.
At 9 years old, Ellie McGinn is driving research for a rare and fatal disease, has educated nearly 1,000 future doctors, successfully advocated for the 21st Century Cures Act, and is helping other sick kids find comfort through personal connections as their pen pal. It's easy to forget that she herself is living with a serious illness. As a toddler, Ellie began losing her balance and complained of pain in her feet. After meeting with a series of specialists, she was diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder known as leukoencephalopathy, with brain, stem, and spinal cord involvement and lactate elevation. This condition slowly robs children of their motor skills. Now, determined to fight it, the family scoured the globe for answers and began down a path of advocacy. And to start, they created a Facebook page called A Cure for Ellie, which quickly formed into a foundation. Today, they have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars to fund research at the Kennedy Krieger Institute in Baltimore. Many hope that this project will lead to a cure, and it's possible that the work may lead to discoveries for some more common brain diseases. In addition, though, Ellie ran a social media campaign to rename her disease. Thank you, Ellie. With the hope that a different name might encourage others to learn about it. So thanks to Ellie, LBSL is now known as Awesome Disease. And Ellie's doctors use this name, and it's catching on, as you might imagine, with others. Through their work, Ellie and her family have made her story not just about her, but all children with this condition and the millions of others with rare diseases. NORD is honored to present Ellie Awesome McGinn with a Rare Impact Award. Please join me in welcoming her to the stage.
Hi, my name is Ellie McGinn. This is a poster that I had help from my parents making, and these are just a couple of people that my mom reached out to with awesome disease. And I am accepting the award for them tonight.
I just wanted to say really quickly that when Ellie was diagnosed in 2011, her Aunt Tasha told me, I was very upset, obviously, and her Aunt Tasha, who's here in the audience tonight, with her Uncle Doug, called me and said that Ellie was going to teach the world a lot of beautiful things, and she really has taught us all a lot, and we're always inspired by her strength and her ability to inspire others. So thank you guys for being here tonight, and we're also really grateful to Kennedy Krieger for believing in us. Christina Mertz, Dr. Mertz is here tonight, and Dr. Ali Fatimi at the Kennedy Krieger Institute, who is conducting research into a cure. We're in our second year of a 7-year plan, and we have a lot of hope in our heart thanks to them. So thank you guys for being here tonight. And little sister Vivian would like to say something.
Thank you for coming.
Well, if that doesn't get a little dirt in your eye, I don't know what will. After being diagnosed with giant axonal neuropathy, Chrissy Gruby volunteered to be the first patient injected with an experimental treatment so that other children with this fatal condition, including her younger sister Amanda, would have the chance at a better life.
She's the pink princess, if you haven't seen her yet.
Now, Chrissy's parents told her that they were not sure of the outcome, and she knew that the risks included the possibility of not surviving. She also knew that it could mean the chance to walk again, and remarkably, her symptoms improved after the trial. She showed movement in her arms and her legs and improved dexterity, but sadly, in February of last year, Chrissy passed away at the age of 10, following complications from spinal surgery to correct scoliosis that was caused by her addition. Now, even though she is no longer with us, Chrissy continues to make a difference for others. There are researchers and doctors here with us tonight who worked with Chrissy while she was alive and who are studying samples donated after she passed. They say that she has saved years of testing and research to advance the progress of gene therapy. NORD is honored to recognize Chrissy Gruby with a Rare Impact Award, so please join me in welcoming her sister Amanda and family to the stage.
And this one. Thank you to NORD.
That's beautiful.
And thank you for the doctors that are here tonight. And I'm very proud of my sister, Chrissy.
best sister ever.
We just want to thank, of course, NORD, the NIH for doing this clinical trial, Dr. Stephen Gray, who is here tonight, for inventing this gene therapy, Dr. Karsten Bonneman and Dr. Diana Barucha, who are also here tonight, without whom Chrissy would not have been patient number 1, and Amanda would not have been patient number 6. And to Lori Sames and Hannah's Hope Fund, without whom there would not be a gene therapy or a trial at all. Thank you very much, Lori. We love you.
We were always telling people that Chrissy was the bravest of any of us. Every day her body betrayed her, but there was never a person she met who she didn't instantly befriend. No one got to walk away without a hug. She was selfless. She never thought, why me? She never thought, this could have happened to somebody else instead of me. She accepted what had happened. She never complained. She always looked to the future. And because of the work of the people at UNC and at NIH and at Hannah's Hope Fund, we have hope. Thank you.
I just wanted to say that if it wasn't for the research, the love, the kindness that everyone provides for these rare, beautiful people, they would not have hope. And just before Chrissy passed, she expressed wonderful hope, which was a beautiful, beautiful thing to witness. And that is the gift that these wonderful doctors give.
Okay, go ahead.
I also want to say thank you for coming.
Good girl.
It is heartbreaking that more than half of people with rare diseases are children, and Dr. Cynthia Tift is working to help other families from losing a child. As the director of the Pediatric Undiagnosed Diseases Program at the National Institutes of Health, she is solving some of the nation's toughest medical mysteries. She is also the director of the National Human Genome Research Institute, which aims to find new and better ways to help patients with rare diseases. On top of all of this, Dr. Tift dedicates herself to a group of rare conditions known as gangliosides. These are devastating neurological diseases that have no treatment, and because of this, 25 years ago, she set out to learn everything she could about them and has since become the world's expert. Dr. Tift has used her research training to develop a gene therapy and to test it on animals, and she is now poised to initiate human trials, which could become the first human gene therapy trial for a condition that has no therapy and is uniformly fatal. Dr. Tift says she is driven to have one chance at a cure for these kids and is determined to offer any bit of hope to families through finding diagnoses and treatments. Dr. Tift not only gives hope to patients, but she inspires other clinicians and researchers to go beyond their comfort zones. NORD is pleased to honor Dr. Cynthia Tift with a Rare Impact Award. Please join me in welcoming her to the stage.
Wow. Ellie, Chrissy, and the Pink Princess. Impossible acts to follow. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you, NORD, for honoring me with this award.
Thank you to the National Tay-Sachs and Allied Diseases Association, their Executive Director, Sue Kahn, their former Executive Director and dear friend, Jane Gershkowitz. I know that you guys were the instigators. And a shout out to NTSAD, the oldest patient advocacy group for a rare disorder and a charter member of NORD. They're celebrating this year their 60th anniversary. Many mentors have brought me to this point in my professional life. Charles Scott, Rod Howell, and Ken Rosenbaum, great clinical geneticists. The late Frank Oski and Kathy DeAngelis, superb pediatricians. Elton Stubblefield, Liz Neufeld, and Rick Proya, outstanding researchers, and many, many, many others. Thank you to the thousands of parents who have trusted me with their children over the last 30 years. Every patient teaches you something. And especially thank you to my husband, Forrest, brilliant physicist and climate scientist, who has been awakened to the whine of my pager for far too many nights. After 18 years in the trenches at Children's National, I was recruited back to the NIH by Bill Gall, Clinical Director of the National Human Genome Research Institute, and probably better known to some of you as the real Dr. House. There, I was charged with directing the pediatric portion of the NIH Undiagnosed Disease Program. Early in the UDP, Bill and I published a paper discussing the significance of reaching a disorder, especially for patients with rare diseases. What's in a name? As friends and members of NORD, you, more than anyone else, understand the importance to patients and their families of reaching a diagnosis, of finding a home. A place where others speak your language and understand your struggles. If reaching a diagnosis is finding a home, then we in clinical genetics spend our professional lives finding homes for the homeless, the noblest of professions, if not the most highly compensated. So on behalf of the more than 1,500 board-certified clinical geneticists across the country who go to work every morning striving to find homes for the homeless, I am pleased to accept this Rare Impact Award.
To be a genius and still carry a pager. I mean, do kids under 20 know what that is?
No, but they'll Google it.
They're looking like
They're like a house phone. By the way, if this night doesn't humble you in a way that you realize we've accomplished nothing, it's remarkable what we're hearing tonight, these stories. We've got another one for you right now, because for his entire life, Brandon Hudgens has chased his dreams of being an elite athlete, a competitive runner. Yet 10 years ago, as a Division I college athlete, he began to experience health issues, and he suddenly went from being one of the fastest on the team to being one of the slowest. And he experienced incredible fatigue and hearing loss, and he was diagnosed several months later with a type of vasculitis, a rare condition that inflames the blood vessels and cuts off vital blood supply. As he received treatment, he told himself that he would get back to running. And once he was able to resume training, Brandon saw considerable success in a sport that he rose to the tops quickly. He became one of only 449 Americans. Keep that number. We're talking about rare numbers. Here's another one. 449 Americans. He's only one of those. To race a mile in under 4 minutes. Yeah. As a result, no surprise, he earned a spot in the 2016 Olympic trials. Now, it was at this point, upon reaching the pinnacle of his sport, that Brandon seized the spotlight to give others a voice. He He now leads a campaign called Victory Over Vasculitis to inspire others not to be limited by their diagnosis. He challenges all of us to live the lives that we were meant to live, and that is why NORD is quite pleased to honor Brandon Hudgens with a Rare Impact Award. Please join me in welcoming him to the stage. Not too fast.
10 years ago, when I started on this journey, anybody that has a rare disease knows how quiet a lot of us suffer. And it hasn't been until the last 2 years that I kind of came to grips with all that and realized, as an athlete and as a person that struggled, I had a very unique platform. And luckily, the Vasculitis Foundation was awesome enough to give me a chance to help start a campaign called the Victory Over Vasculitis campaign. And that's not just for vasculitis patients, but it's for anybody that has struggled with anything in life, to chase their dreams. That's what it's about. And not let the things that happen to all of us, stop us from doing what we love in life. And that's what I challenge our group every week. We have a Facebook group and all the other fun things that social media has allowed us to do. But ultimately, it's to inspire everybody, no matter your disease, no matter your lot in life, no matter the hands you've been dealt. Because as you've heard time and time again tonight, there's a lot of us that have been dealt a really, really rare hand. And when you are faced with those challenges, you get kind of two choices. You get to stand up and fight, or you can kind of cower down. I wish that I could say that I'd always stood up and fought at every moment, but I've struggled, just like everybody else has in this room. These rare diseases not only impact you, but they impact your loved ones and your family. The toughest people that my disease has hurt has been my family. My mom, my dad, my brother and my sister. Knowing what they've had to go through breaks my heart. And having an important support network around you is so important, and having them and having my girlfriend and my best friend by my side during a lot of this has meant a lot to me. And having the foundation and Ed and Joyce behind me for the last year and a half has been so, so important on this journey. I started this journey, like I said earlier, with the idea of inspiring others, but through another relapse this year and having running taken away from me, I really learned how much everybody else in this community of rare diseases has had an impact on me and has inspired me. And I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, and I want to thank NORD for this honor, because 10 years ago I truly could not have imagined standing on a stage like this. So thank you, NORD, and thank you everybody for having me.
All right, keep the tissues nearby. 10 years ago, Dr. Matthew Might was working in computer science and knew very little about the world of rare diseases. Today, he runs a research institute finding treatments for rare diseases at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, serves as a White House strategist for the Precision Medicine Initiative, and acts as president of the NGLI1 Foundation, and is the active advisor to the Undiagnosed Diseases Network Coordinating Center as a visiting professor at the Harvard Medical School. So how did this journey begin? At 4 years old, after years of testing, Matt's son Bertrand was diagnosed with NGLI1 deficiency, and he was the first known case. To be sure of its cause and understand how it might be treated, the family set out to find others. Matt's previous success as a computer scientist sparked an idea: publish an article on his website and make it go viral. And it worked. One after another, Matt's story turned up new cases of his son's disease, and in just 13 months after Bertrand's diagnosis, Matt's blog had helped uncover 9 more cases. As the families connected, their fight grew stronger. Using his knowledge of data modeling, Matt identified 2 FDA-approved compounds that seemed like they could help his son. After 3 days on one particular compound, his son started crying tears, making him the first child with this disease to ever cry. Dr. Might has since co-founded a company that conducts personalized drug screens for genetic epilepsy. In his lab, his interests focus on the intersection of computation and medicine to provide data and genome-driven treatments to the right patient at just the right time. He is motivated not only to help his son, but to do as much as he possibly can for other people with rare diseases and for parents of children with rare diseases. NORD is pleased to honor Dr. Matthew Might with a Rare Impact Award. Please join me in welcoming him to the stage.
Thank you. Okay, because I still work for the White House somehow, I have to preface this acceptance speech with a disclaimer. These are personal remarks, which may not represent the views of the President or the administration. But if you want to know the administration's views, I am told they are freely available on Twitter. So it's an honor to be both nominated and selected for this award, and I'm humbled to be among so many amazing honorees. So first I must give thanks to NORD, because this is truly wonderful. But in fact, this award really can't be for me. It took so many other people to make this moment possible. I hope it's obvious that I wouldn't be here today without my son Bertrand. Not just because it was Bertrand's condition that led me on this path to figuring out how to find treatments for conditions, but because Bertrand is the very model of courage. And in rare disease, courage is contagious. It takes one patient, one parent, or one friend to say, I refuse to accept this fate, and in doing so, none of us have to. Bertrand never gives up, and so as a parent and as a scientist, neither will I. But far more essential to my being here today is my wife and Bertrand's mother, Christina. Without Christina, there's no way that all that has been done for Bertrand in the past 9 years would have been even remotely possible. The truth is that early on, it was always Christina taking him to appointments, chasing down leads, and connecting with physicians and researchers. It was Christina that forged the connections with Duke scientists that ultimately got him sequenced and diagnosed. It was only once he had the diagnosis after 4 long years that she turned to me and said, "Tag, you're it." And she's continued to be an amazing advocate, mother, and wife. I am forever grateful to her. I also have to thank my parents for their tireless support of their grandson. I have to thank Dr. Carano, who is here with us tonight, who taught this person who has literally a grade school education in biology everything I know about biology and about how to think about treating rare diseases. I have to thank my department chair at the Harvard Med School, Zach Kahani, for taking me under his wing and helping me formulate the principles of clinical precision medicine. I have to thank the many talented and dedicated researchers at the NIH that have personally made a difference for our patients. And I want to thank Lynn Wolf, Bill Gall, and Chris Dawson in particular for centers like NCATS and programs like the UDP and the CG protocol under which so many of our patients, including our own, distill hope directly from science. And I must thank the Anglo 1 patient community for coming together and being both the reason and the means to do what we have done in such a short amount of time for this disease. And I'm extremely grateful for my newfound opportunity to serve as the director of the Hugh Hall Precision Medicine Institute at the University of Alabama, Birmingham. I intend to see this institute bring the kind of hope we've been able to bring to Bertrand to all patients with rare disease. So finally, I want to thank you, the entire rare disease community. Perhaps none of us would have picked this war to fight if we'd had a choice. In rare disease, we are rarely volunteers. We are almost always drafted to serve. But everyone who serves does so with a quiet, fearsome, and heartfelt dedication that will always be inspiring to me. So to all of you, I say thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes tonight's awards, but I think we have to just utter our own thank yous because we appreciate that you allow Kimberly and I to come in and be part of what truly is a special night. It's rare that we get to be part of something like this, and we are grateful for it. And I think, if anything, we've learned a couple of lessons. One, As Marshall first told us, watch out, Wyoming. You can rename anything to make it awesome and put your own incredibly positive spin on it, and that you should watch the world unfold. So thank you for letting us be a part of this evening. We're going to have a wonderful time now that we hope you'll join us to celebrate the honorees with a champagne and dessert reception right now.
Cheers, thank you, and good night.